40 gigabit per second data transfer speed, 12 connections, 8K display connections, 3 independent daisy chains, 85 watts laptop charging. This is Yottamaster Thunderbolt 4 docking station. Let's quickly unbox it so you can see what to expect inside the box. Fairly heavy box for a small docking station, I do have to say, but you'll understand why. Right immediately we have the docking station, and underneath we get the Thunderbolt 4 C2C cable, 1 meter long and up to 240 watts cable with huge power adapter and power cord for the wall socket. The power adapter or power supply is 130 watts, 20 volts, 6.5 amperes, and it has to be plugged in constantly for the Thunderbolt 4 dock to function properly. Usually docking stations come thicker, so the power adapter is integrated inside. This can be good and bad at the same time. The good thing is that you can now hide the power adapter underneath your table or anywhere you find convenient, and at the same time have a nice slim docking station on your table. On the other hand, you have the adapter that is slightly bigger than the docking station and definitely heavier. But I think we can let go of that segment if we take into consideration what I mentioned, that you can now hide it somewhere. Now time for all those 12 ports that I mentioned and to check them out. Near the power button we have one 3.5mm combo audio jack, one USB-C 3.2 10 gigabit per second speed, one USB Type A 3.2 10 gigabit per second, one upstream Thunderbolt 4 port 40 gigabit per second 85 watts, one downstream Thunderbolt 4 port 40 gigabit per second 15 watts. On the other side we have one DC input 130 watts, one DisplayPort 1.4 video port, one HDMI 2.0 video port, RJ45 Ethernet port, two USB-A 2.0 480 megabits per second, and one SDTF 3.0 card readers. How to connect everything? I think it's really straightforward. There's no philosophy here because all the ports are just regular connections, so there's no difference in USB Type A, Type C, 3.5mm jack, or even HDMI, DisplayPort, RJ45, TF or SD. So I mentioned them all again, but it's really straightforward in connection. There's no philosophy here, and the cool thing is that they are all, let's say, nicely located. So for instance, the connections that you actually need quite quickly and quite easily accessible are right here on the front where the power button is. The connection for the screen, for instance the DisplayPort, HDMI, RJ45 and some, let's say, mouse and keyboard connection are at the back. So you can reroute the cables behind the table and make it look quite nice because this is what you'll be seeing. This is it. Now compatibility is something really interesting. You can connect devices from Mac OS and Windows. Specifically we're talking here about M1 Pro, M1 Max and M1 Ultra Thunderbolt 4 Max, M1 Thunderbolt 3 Max and Intel Thunderbolt 3 Mac. Then Thunderbolt or USB-C iPad, Thunderbolt 4 and Thunderbolt 3 on PC, USB 4 and USB-C on PC, as well as USB-C on Windows tablet. This is really cool because you can use the docking station on almost everything regarding those two operational systems, giving you most out of the usage for it. Now for the screen usage and what you can expect from it. You can connect dual displays with 4K resolution at 60 Hz. By saying that, you can use the Thunderbolt 4 USB-C hub. Computers with Thunderbolt 4 or USB 4 port can extend an 8K display at 30 Hz or two 4K displays at 60 Hz. So let's break it down. Windows with Thunderbolt 4 single monitor support is 8K at 30 Hz or 4K at 60 Hz or dual display at 4K 60 Hz. macOS on the other hand can support single or dual 4K at 60 Hz. DisplayPort and HDMI have the same possible configuration. It is also worth mentioning that Yottamaster docking station supports up to 2 monitors, as I said already, but in this configuration. So Thunderbolt 4 plus DisplayPort, Thunderbolt 4 plus HDMI, or HDMI plus DisplayPort. Also iPad or other tablets only support single display mode. And finally, then you need to note, when you have 2 monitors connected, the docking station will no longer transfer data at 40 gigabit per second due to the bandwidth being used for the video output. Of course, the transfer speeds will still vary depending on the amount of Thunderbolt devices connected at that time. Now, it's time to mention speeds, since I already got to that point, so let's check them out. So only PC connected and single monitor with Thunderbolt 4, HDMI DisplayPort. We have speeds for USB 2.0, USB-C 10 gigabit per second, USB-A 10 gigabit per second, and Thunderbolt 4 40 gigabit per second. You can see the difference, you can see everything. So everything is speeding up as they stated without any hidden agenda. Additional, what you need to know is you can daisy chain up to 6 devices, 85 watt speedy power delivery charging. It has nice aluminium body, which really has possibility for a nice heat dissipation. First of all, it's cool right now, even though it's not in use, but the aluminium does do the job. And you have some openings on the edges for a nice heat dissipation, which is really outstanding because, let's be honest, internal components do tend to heat up. So yeah, this is outstanding. And of course, at the bottom, we have 4 rubber feet to keep the docking station steady on the table while you're plugging something inside the Yottamaster Thunderbolt 4 docking station. Overall, multiple connection docking station. 12 to be exact, and which delivers quite nicely in terms of speeds, up to dual monitor connection and clean design, which is always a plus for sure. Now, aluminium housing for heat dissipation as already stated, so all in all, great combination in one. The adapter is a bit bigger, I won't lie, but when you take into consideration that usually the docking station is downsized compared to the other docking stations, and that you can actually hide the adapter somewhere behind the table or whatever you think of, it gives you less usage on your desk, better cable organization, and overall enough power to power up everything. There's also a Q&A page under the product details on their official website, giving you even more inside information about it. So there is actually loads of questions there which you could check out and see what they actually answered immediately. So it might even solve some of your problems instantly or just give you some idea about the product. And now finally, if this is something that will definitely help you with your workload, you think this might be handy or just simply cool and you really want it, the link is in the description for you guys to check it out, the price and all the other details if I might have skipped something. So do tend to check that out and click the link in the description below. In the meantime, if you still didn't, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and click the notification bell for future content coming quite shortly. Thank you for watching and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye bye.